Peace, 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 peace. So the first test is completed. What is this? Knowledge Cipher, understanding God after the Knowledge Cipher hour, right? So that first session is done. How long did it take for the Cisco food to leave the physical composition? What was the number? So if we look at it, we start in Cisco in December. So it wasn't the full month of December. So we even give you a break on that one. And we'll go. Pretty much it was the full month though. So we go December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So pretty much, I would say 9-10 months. 10 months for the Cisco poison to get out the physical composition. That's what the test results brought. And GMO glyphosate, it takes approximately 7 to 8 months to get out of the physical composition, right? And that's counting each day. So if you did one today, right, but tomorrow you do one, that's a different hit. Like, so if I ate glyphosate today, it's going to take 9 months for that glyphosate to get out. 8 to 9 months. Cisco, 8 to 9 months, 7 months. Depending on how you detoxing. But if you're not detoxing, that's how the extension comes, right? And so that was the test. So we did the test. I did the test on me. I did 3 tests on my physical composition, right? Because I'm already past the level of redoing the physical composition at a certain level, right? Mitochondria level, okay, we can all do that right quick. But you're not growing, right? Most of us finish growing. So, but if you could implement no grain, no starch, no soy, no dairy, no sugar, raw fruit and vegetables, farm grown, paleo level, if you could do that with the young people and then when they're getting ready to have a seed, his sperm and her egg will be pure from that paleo or vegetarian or vegan, any of those kind of diets if you subtract margarine, grain, starch, soy, dairy, sugar, and glyphosate, non-organic, substitute all their stuff with that, right? And they'll keep giving you propaganda saying it doesn't make a difference, but we know it does. Even at the sperm level, the cellular level, spinal fluid at that level, right? All right, so, because what we're doing is we're really taking 360 and we redoing the population with it, right? How are we redoing the population? Because they, in their what is called, what do they call it? Corporate America's food for the population changes your DNA, RNA, mitochondria, cellular structure, mechanisms. Like, when you say mechanisms, you're talking, in physical composition, you're talking about what the pancreas does, gallbladder, spleen, liver, those organs, right? And then from there you go into kidney, right? But if you're going to start at the foundation, you're going to go heart, then brain, then stomach. If you're talking about birth, through the birth canal, that's what air particles and a clot of blood attach yourself to the uterus wall. And then you should have already changed the dietary law when you were saying we were going to have a baby, right? So that the sperm and the egg have its See, the only thing funny about when you're talking about the egg is the egg has to be made manifest when the woman that you choosing to put the seed in, her mother has to already have done it for you to really change the egg at the level that you want to change it on based on 360, right? Because her set number of eggs are made manifest from birth, right? That's when they hit puberty, that's the amount they're gonna have. That's what they got. It's not like the sperm in the man. His is being made manifest from the spinal fluid, and he can renew his history every 28 days, make it stronger, right? Because ours as a man, sperm is made manifest on its own through the spinal fluid and other proteins and amino acids. Really, it's not even proteins, it's amino acids, whether they're fat or protein, came from protein or fat. You need them both to balance it, right? Because you're a giant amino acid. That's why a snake can eat all of you and everything, swallow the whole thing, right? So because it's all protein or amino acids, you're going to get the amino acids from that, right? Okay, that's getting on a little off the subject, but what I'm saying is we did the trial. We've been doing the trial since, if you look at the stats, it says 1983. So that's before a lot of people was even born that's listening, right? The people who were born before that may not be able to leave the corporate America dietary law alone. They might not be able to. Those parasites might have already hooked them and they can't get away because they don't have the willpower. But if you went to a resort somewhere or something like how Dr. Sebi used to have those resorts, if you could do something like that, that will enable you to break it. Because it only takes about 120 days of no GMO, no Cisco, no glyphosate for it to be out of your body. You're going to still have the cravings. That takes about 2 years to get rid of that. But we have the substitute. Like if you had the craving for sugar, granular sugar, you get monk fruit in granular form. It looks just like sugar, but it doesn't attack the body like sugar does. It doesn't give you inflammation. So that's a replacement. You want a replacement flour, any of the tree nuts. Once you sprout them, you could turn them into flour. All of those turn into flour. You can go in the grocery store nowadays and see that. Or you can go old school and go Egypt and use einkorn, because they tell you that Egypt had wheat, but Egypt didn't have wheat. They had einkorn. There was no such thing as wheat on the earth in those days. They didn't have wheat. They had einkorn. If you go to Europe right now and buy some einkorn, or if you ship it here, because you could do it online, say I want to give me some of the seedlings, and let you see what the seedlings of einkorn looks like, and the seedlings of European colonizer wheat looks like, and they're not the same. But they're telling you that when you're making bread from their wheat, it's like Jesus' bread, but it's not. See, that's what I'm saying. So, not to get too deep, but all these things matter when you changing muscle mass, when you increasing muscle mass, decreasing body fat, repairing organs, right? When you're doing that, it matters. Like you can't eat McDonald's and expect to be able to be 67 and able to do 100 squats. Nah, it's not going to happen. While you're young, you're going to be all right eating McDonald's. But what happens is by the time you hit 35, 40, it start catching up with you. Because you're young and you could beat it. It can't do nothing to you. But it keeps sitting there waiting on you to get older so it could get you. Then you don't know that that's why it's getting you by then. Right? Look, we all had 120. We all had 120. We all knew and understand and everything, and we leaving way too early. What are you talking about? We're leaving way too early, right? We're not even 100 years old and we're leaving. Nah, that's not good. And we're already in a deficit in America. That's why we keep importing. We're at a deficit when you're talking about childbirth. All right? So anyway, I'm running out of time. You know how we do it. Set the record straight. 1803 is Daddy, Son of Man 7. I'm out. Peace.